So, what is true peace? And that's one of the things we're going to be talking about in this week's portion, which is Pinchas. It's Numbers 25:10 through 30, verse 1. And the Haftarah is Jeremiah 1, verse 1 through chapter 2, verse 3. The New Covenant portion is John 2, verses 13 through 22. Now, in order to start this week's portion, I want to go back to the end of last week's portion, which was Balak. And we were in Numbers chapter 25. I want to start at verse 6. Then behold, one of the sons of Israel came and brought to his relatives a Midianite woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the sons of Israel, while they were weeping at the doorway of the tent of meeting. When Pinchas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he arose from the midst of the congregation and took a spear in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent and pierced both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through the body. So the plague on the sons of Israel was checked. Those who died by the plague were 24,000, which leads us into this week's portion, which is Pinchas, starting in verse 10 of chapter 25. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Pinchas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, has turned away my wrath from the sons of Israel, in that he was jealous. And in my own very humble opinion, this word jealous in Hebrew could also be translated as zeal, with my jealousy among them, so that I did not destroy the sons of Israel in my jealousy or in my zeal. Therefore, say, behold, I give him a covenant of peace, and it shall be for him and his descendants after him a covenant of perpetual priesthood, because he was jealous for his God, and he made atonement for the sons of Israel. So what was the motivation in the heart of Pinchas? He was zealous for the holiness of God. He did not want to see sin in the camp. And really, that was Balaam who tripped Israel up with bringing this sin into the camp. But we see in Pinchas a heart after God, a heart that is zealous for the holiness of God. I want to go to the New Covenant portion, which is John chapter 2. And I want to start reading in verse 13. The Passover of the Jews was near, and Yeshua went up to Jerusalem, and he found in the temple those who were selling oxen and sheep and doves, and the money changers seated at their tables. And he made a scourge of cords and drove them all out of the temple with the sheep and the oxen, and he poured out the coins of the money changers and overturned their tables. And to those who were selling the doves, he said, take these things away. Stop making my Father's house a place of business. His disciples remembered that it was written, zeal for your house will consume me. Now, where was that written? That was written in Psalm chapter 69, verse 9, in some versions, verse 10. What we see here is a parallel between Pinchas and Yeshua. Pinchas's actions were motivated because of zeal for the holiness of the Lord. And actually, Yeshua's actions here were also motivated out of zeal for God, the holiness of God, and the holiness of his house. The house of God was meant to be a place where all peoples could come to develop their relationship and be in the presence of God. But what had happened was they had turned it into a marketplace, into a place of just to make money instead of what its real purpose was, which was to connect between God and man. So back to our question, what is true peace? I believe that true peace is a restoration of a right relationship with God. And that the restoration with God, it requires an atonement. And for those of us who have studied this word and put our trust in Yeshua, we believe that it was Yeshua who paid that price, the atonement price, for us to have that perfect peace, that perfect relationship with God. I want to bless you with these words as you meditate on the Word of God throughout this week. Shalom.